This Milwaukee Bucks team proved tonight why they are the reigning 2020-21 NBA champions. And by the way, can we just talk about real quick, I've never seen a reigning NBA championship squad fly this much under the radar. You saw the hype with the Golden State Warriors, the hype with the Lakers, the hype with the Cavs, obviously, because they had LeBron James. Is it because the Bucks are a smaller market? What is the true reason behind why this Bucks team just flew this much under the radar? Everyone's favorites, their picks. This team's winning the championship. This team's winning the championship. The Bucks always fly under the radar, and it seems like there's always that one game down the stretch that it's like, oh yeah, fuck, I forgot this team won the championship last year. They have that championship DNA. It seems like they have to continuously prove themselves to the world that they are the NBA champions. And we are continuing to see why they are so special as a ball club. They're not a super team. They're not going to be some crazy dynasty. They're not going to three-peat. Who knows, that may happen. But this team is so damn mentally tough. They're so mentally tough. They're so tough mentally. They are just built for overcoming adversity. Drew Holiday struggling offensively this series doesn't matter because his value is that great defensively. He's such a great leader. He's not afraid to continue to take shots at all. He studies film like an absolute beast. The attention to detail on the defense side of the basketball, his ability to just be so disciplined with his hands, his hand-eye coordination, his footwork. Everyone says play defense with your feet, not your hands, don't reach. But his timing, he knows when to reach. He's just unbelievable on that side of the ball. And after struggling up against one of the top defenses in the league, what they're able to do versus Kevin Durant and what they were able to draw up versus that Nets team having Kyrie and Kevin Durant on that side of the ball. Because you know you're a legit defense when you get in Kevin Durant's head. But we haven't seen that against the Milwaukee Bucks. You can't get in the Bucks' head. You have some of the most mentally tough players in the league playing for the Milwaukee Bucks. Brook Lopez, mentally tough. Giannis, he's been through so much shit in his life, nothing even phases him. Yes, if you didn't know, he actually technically wasn't a Greek citizen when he was younger. He was actually technically Nigerian. He's both, you could say. But he dealt with a lot of racism, his family almost getting kicked out of Greece because they were technically immigrants, having to sell sunglasses, handbags on the streets to help provide and make money for his family. He originally only started playing basketball. Soccer was his first love. The only reason he started playing basketball was to get his family jobs. This dude is just thankful to be in the NBA. This is just an extra part of his life for him. Like he's just winning at life. There's barely any pressure on him. He's just a very in the moment guy. So this man's been through so much shit. There's no such thing as pressure for him. But for the Bucks to be down 14 points versus this good defense, with Tatum scoring down the stretch, with Jaylen Brown scoring down the stretch, not like Tatum had a horrible game, not like Brown had a horrible game. The Bucks are just that good mentally. There is such a little room of error for this Bucks squad down the stretch, and they were able to execute down a good amount towards the end of the third quarter and during the fourth quarter. They were down 14 at one point in this game. At one point, Giannis had 30 of the Bucks' 80 points. Giannis 40 points, the will of him going to the basket, him continuing to shoot threes, even though yes, you could say that you hate he's settling, but there's a certain amount of aggressiveness and there's a certain amount of I don't care, I'm gonna try to dominate in every way possible. I'm just gonna experiment the floor. It's just insane. At one point he was 2 for 18 in this series from downtown, and in this game he made 2 3-pointers. Entering this game, he was 2 of 18 from downtown. He made two threes in the second half. One that was huge in the fourth quarter, stepping into a transition three ball. It's oh, don't take that, but then it goes in. It's unbelievable. His flexibility around the rim, that one reverse layup he had, his willingness on the boards. And it's not just Drew Holiday's defense. It's not just Giannis's willingness and just tenacity on both ends of the floor. It's not just the adjustments by Mike Budenholzer, it's the contribution from this overall ball club. Grayson Allen, he's an a-hole. Let's be real. But yes, he's an a-hole. He's a pretty damn good basketball player. And there was one play he was able to hang into the rim, like control the ball so he wasn't able to turn it over and finish at the rim. Pat Connaughton, huge threes. Like Giannis ends up knocking down the first free throw, making it 107-106, only down one, and he had to connect on the second free throw to tie the game. But Bobby Portis comes up with a huge offensive rebound off of the second miss, and he gives them the freaking lead with a 2-point field goal near the rim. Like, unbelievable. The willingness. Like, he played for the Wizards, he played for the Bulls, he played for the Knicks. Like, it took him some time to find a home, and they put him in the position to be successful. This winning culture. Like, this team is just full of fucking NBA champions. They are full of NBA champions. Bobby Portis had to take on a bigger role this year. No more PJ Tucker. And he's just freaking excelled. He's gotten better defensively. He's made the extra pass. He hasn't been forcing stuff, that hook shot in his game. And obviously, we need to talk about Drew Holiday. Critical possession right after Bobby Portis had the putback to give them the lead. Marcus Smart drives baseline. Drew Holiday does a great job rotating. Huge block. And it looked like it was going to go out of bounds and be Celtics basketball. But no, he saves it, throws it off of Marcus Smart. And then it leads to Pat Connaughton getting fouled because they had intentionally fouled him because there was barely any time left. Pat Connaughton silky smooth from the free throw line. Then the Celtics had no more timeouts. And Marcus Smart wasn't strong enough with the basketball. Drew Holiday comes up with a huge strip. And you could say there was a Brown cutting or there was an open lane there to go to the basket if Marcus Smart made a quick enough decision with the basketball and maybe didn't hold on to it that long. In the moment, it seemed like he held on to the ball too long, but Marcus Smart had some huge critical turnovers. Giannis was still in the middle of the interior, though, so maybe Giannis would have had a huge block, but just Tatum was able to get buckets down the stretch, even though he wasn't efficient from downtown. I believe he finished like 2 for 11, but Derek White was pretty solid off the bench. Grant Williams didn't score a lot, but we know he's a very capable defensive player. Al Horford, he only had 8, but he had some key strips in this game. Like Marcus Smart, just critical turnovers. Bucks are now up 3-2 in the series. Just wow. And this was on the road. Great, crazy atmosphere. Blood dripping down Giannis's face. 40-point performance. Crash in the glass. Huge block on Horford down the stretch. This team's just so mentally tough. They're willing to make adjustments. This is without Chris Middleton. Unbelievable. And it looks like they may be NBA champions once again. Who knows?